Hey everybody, Coach MJ here. Whoops, I gotta get my mic on. Tonight's video is on when to start your training program, and the reason I wanted to address this topic, you guys, is because I see so many people starting their training. The funny part is most people started too early, not too late, too early. And I will tell you, as someone with experience in this, going into a race overtrained is actually worse than going in undertrained. I mean, ideally you go into your race being ideally trained, but if you have a choice being overtrained and undertrained, you want to go in undertrained. Okay, overtrained is horrible. It's horrible, very horrible. Hey Candace, hey Lisa, you guys, hey Nora, thank you guys for hopping in. So real quickly, today's bonus, TriRightCoaching.com/bonus, today's bonus is going to give you some guidelines of when you should actually start training depending on what distance you're doing. So I covered sprint, Olympic, half Ironman, and Ironman. So those are the distances I covered in that bonus package. It's just a little, it's like a cheat sheet. It's like a cheat sheet of like how many weeks do you need, and then how do you adjust, like, hey Jackie, hey Morgan, hey Susie, did you guys hear me? Hey Jennifer, like, I don't know, it says that it's, okay, Facebook, the phones tell me I have a bad connection. My signal is like right there, it's right there, so something's up. Anyway, if you want to grab that, the dog is like right here, he's right here and he keeps kicking the tripod. But if you want to get just kind of a general guidelines of how many weeks you need between to start for a sprint, a half, Olympic, a half, and a full. But before we get even into that, you have to understand the difference between workouts versus training. Okay, there's a difference to me, you guys. You should be working out all year round. I mean, well, maybe you're going to take, a couple weeks off, maybe after an Ironman or whatever. But those workouts that you're doing kind of in what I consider like the off season, that's not training. That's just working out. You're not training for a specific goal. You're not targeting a specific area. You're just kind of getting out there to stay fit and do things. But that's different than training. Training really hones in on exactly what it is you're trying to accomplish. So in those off season, and I did it last year, I did a video on this and everything, but I'll do another one about all the cool exercises you could do in the off season, like cross-country skiing or rowing or stair climbing or obstacle races and all those things. Those are all great. That's all great stuff. And it helps contribute to you being a better triathlete. However, specificity is key. If you want to swim better, you have to swim more. You want to bike better, you're going to have to bike more. And if you want to run better, you have to run more. Okay? So those things are all great, and I think they're great in the off season. I think they all have their place, and you can even put them in your season training. However, that is working out. That is not training. Your training program is very specific to exactly the goal that you are trying to accomplish. Hey Tim, thanks for hopping on. Good to see you here. Okay, so if you want to win, you guys, because you have to learn when to start your training program, right? So what I was giving away is a journal to try and help you map it out. And even if like this year it's too late for you, this is going to help you map it out for maybe next year or maybe for the off season or whatever. So all you have to do to be entered in the raffle for this drawing, for this raffle, whatever, for this journal, all you have to do is share this video. And I'll tell you guys, a lot of you are not sharing, so not a whole lot of freebies given away. You got to share you got to share this in order to be entered. That's how it works. Because if you guys don't share, then more people don't know about this great info that I give away every week for free, you guys, for free, because I want you guys to be better. I want you guys to be better at what you do. So, workouts versus training. You're done with your workouts. You should now be training, okay? There are definitely some variables. So in the freebie, which you can get at TriRightCoaching.com/bonus. I give you the weeks allowed. I shouldn't say allowed. The weeks I would prescribe for you to do a certain distance. However, those weeks are going to change depending on you and a lot of different variables. So I wanted to cover all those variables here tonight on what it means. So even if I would love for you for me to coach you, right? But if you can't, let's say you just want to do your own thing or you want to follow some online program, that's cool. But let me tell you how you're going to change that program that you're going to get, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is look at the distance. Obviously, if you are training for a sprint, you don't need to train for as long as if you're training for an Ironman. So what you need to do is figure out first what distance you're going to do. And so a lot of pre-planning goes into all these things, right? So hey, Julie, thanks for hopping on. Good to see you. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is determine the distance. And if you're going to do more than one race, and many of us do, right? If you're going to do more than one race, I recommend you pick, quote unquote, an A race. Pick the A race and train around that. Everything else fits into the A goal. So if your goal is an Olympic, let's just say it's Chicago Triathlon, the Olympic, in August. Everything you do around that is to help that be better. You can still do other races. You can still do sprints. You can do 5Ks. You can do all that stuff. But everything has to be planned around that A race. So the very first thing you need to do is pick the A race and pick what distance it's going to be. Okay? That's what you need to do first. Second thing you need to do is, what is your goal? What is your goal? Are you looking to just finish? Are you looking to set a personal record for that distance? Are you looking to podium? Are you looking to win that race? What is it exactly that you want to do? Right? You have to think about all of those things before you can determine how to set up that training program and how early on you need to start that training. Not working out, guys. Again, you can work out. Again, I recommend you working out 12 months a year, right? But they're not all structured training, really hard, training weeks. There's got to be some downtime often. You want to qualify, Morgan. Yeah, Morgan, girl, I think you have a lot of potential. You're so young, though. Hey, Herb, welcome. So you have to determine that goal. The next thing you have to do is your fitness level, okay? So there were, and I'm just going to use myself, there were a lot of years in there, you guys, that my fitness level was way up there. It was way up there. So didn't matter. Whatever the goal was, it was just like, okay, I'm just going to throw that in and I'm going to do it. And my fitness level is up there. But now, if I tried to set the same goals now as I did a few years ago, I would be terribly disappointed. Because my fitness level is nowhere near what it used to be. I can get it back, and I intend to. However, I am very realistic in the fact that, like, I used to be able to go out and run a 10-mile loop over at Waterfall Glen and be like, 8:30 is no problem, I'm not even tired, what are we doing next? Okay? That's the reality is I can't do that now. So how am I going to adjust my goal based on the fitness level and based on how much time I need? So whereas before I said, I even had a bet with one of my training partners, I said, I don't need to train for Ironman. I think anybody could just get up and do one. You just have to do it. They have 17 hours. You can just do it. I have changed my mind on that. Because I was training all the time. So I knew I could do it at any time. Now, I think if you put an Ironman in front of me like next week, I can't finish. I can't do it. Okay? So you have to be very realistic about what your fitness level is. And then take those weeks, those parameters that I give you. Again, TriRightCoaching.com/bonus. There's some parameters of how many weeks I think that you need to train for a specific race. You need to go on the higher end if your fitness level is low, unless your goal is simply to finish. Again, it's all different, and that's what makes coaching such a specialty, and why it's different than an online program or something you get out of a book, because everybody is different. I mean, I don't run what you run, what he runs, what she runs. Even if our goals all might be like Morgan, to get to Kona. Well, Morgan's really young. Her goal is completely different than what you know, say a 55-year-old man would need. It's just different. So you have to take all of that into consideration. You want to finish on time, Jackie? No problem. I'm sure you will. Hey Jennifer, you're trying to learn more to make you better. Yes, see Jennifer, you need to be a sponge. Soak up all of it. Every info, every piece of info you can get, take it in, because it will help you. You only get 16 hours at Louisville. You won't need all 16, Jackie. You won't need it. Okay. So if you want to win, you guys, this journal to help you plan how long you need to do your race, your goals, your training program, share the video. Please share it. Tag some friends. Share it in groups that you know of people who are like-minded and maybe training. Again, this is all related to triathlon, but you could take this info to a biking race or a running race, say if you're doing a marathon. All of this still applies, really still applies. I just focus on triathlon. Okay, and then ability. So that's another thing. Let's just say that you are a not so great swimmer. You're not so great. You might not want to think that you're going to make it to Kona this year. Okay? You may need a year or 2 or 3 or some lessons or some master swim. You may need some things. You might need to change some variables to make yourself be ready to make that goal. Okay? So it's about ability. And I think I've said this story before, but when I first started racing triathlons, I mean, my swim was hands down. That's my thing, you guys, because that's what I've done for so long. But then I got really strong in the bike. And so what would happen is all of my races were strong swim, strong bike, mediocre, subpar run. Strong swim, strong bike, mediocre, subpar run. Well, my ability, just, I wasn't there. I set these goals, but like my running, I wanted to be able to run 7:30s, 8-minute miles. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I had to change. I had to restructure my whole training program. It changed completely, you guys, to focus on the run, because I'm like, I need to spend more time in that weakness. I need to really, really focus there. I'm already pretty good at these two, but I need this one. So what you want to do is focus on your weakness. Where is your ability at? So if my ability, if my fastest 5K, I'm only running 10-minute miles, what makes you think you're going to be able to do 8:30s and a 10K or a half Ironman? You're not. You're not. You can't. And it's okay, because it's a learning process and we move forward. Okay? So you take what you could do and you build upon that. So maybe that goal that you set, if it was too aggressive based on your ability, then you have to change it for the next race or the next year or the next couple of years. You have to think big picture on all this. You need more biking. Hey Karen, thank you for hopping in. Did you see my dog? He just left. He got tired of me talking. All right. The difference between biking, Jackie, there's a difference. There he is. He's so cute. I love my dog. The difference between biking is make sure that when you go out on your bike and you're doing your rides, that you are biking and not quote unquote touring. There's a difference between I'm just going to go out for a 50-mile ride versus I'm going to go out for a 50-mile training ride. The training ride needs to be focused on that target that you plan to set on your race day. Okay? It's like, I know so many people who do century rides and the MS 150 and the bike the drive, Jackie. That is not the pace you plan to do in a race. Okay? That might be great biking experience, you know, being on your bike and pedaling and clipping in and all that stuff, but there's so many people out there, you really cannot ride to your ability because it's crowded. So you really want to focus on those workouts on doing race pace or focusing on some aspect of what you're going to do. So when I write my plans for my athletes, one day might be, hey, make sure you stay aero for the ride. Another day might be, hey, make sure you're staying at 90 RPMs. The other day might be, make sure you're nailing your nutrition for your long bike rides. So every ride has to have a focus. They all have to have a purpose. Puppy. He's so cute. Now he's laying right under my legs, you guys. Right under my legs. Okay. Availability. Oh, here's another one. Oh, sorry, you guys, if you're getting a little glare there. The light is changing. The light is changing. Availability. So you have to be really brutally honest with yourself in terms of the availability that you have to train. Because as you get into the longer distances, specifically half Ironman and Ironman, you're going to need a lot of time to train. Now, you can still do it if you don't have all that time. However, it's not going to be your optimal performance. It's not going to be the best that you can do if you're limited in availability. So if you have, I don't want to say a 9 to 5, because I think you can still do this with a 9 to 5. I think if like you have a schedule that's crazy and you're working 80 hours a week and you have a family and you have all these other obligations, those are the things that are going to cut into your training time. So you need to be very realistic in terms of how much time you have available to train. Okay? Right, well, one last time to grab the, hold on, there it is. To grab the, it's a handout. It's just basically a cheat sheet, you guys. A cheat sheet on guidelines. I know this is backwards guidelines to help you figure out when to start your training program. You just can grab it for free. TriRightCoaching.com/bonus. It gives you like the suggested weeks of training that you need to do your race, and then all of these variables are what you're going to use to adjust the number of weeks that are listed there. And the very last thing is experience. The more experienced you are, the less time you need to train, because you have veteran status. So for me now, when I haven't raced in years, to pick it up and start training again is going to take me a lot less time to get focused and nail it down than it did when I started. Because when I started, I had no experience, right? So exactly that for you. So if you have done triathlons before, if you have done marathons before, if you are experienced in Ironman, you don't need quite as much time as somebody who's brand new, picking it up, starting off the couch, just getting used to it, okay? You don't need as much time. If you want to take the time, there's an advantage to it, and you can totally do that. And I think you can play on that and make yourself be the best of the best. However, you don't have to have it. So experience plays a big part in the amount of time it takes for you to ramp up from here to race day. Oh wait, and Janine doesn't even really hop on these anymore, but guys, got the nails done today. Check that out. Oh, it's hard to tell, but that is like 3D hologram. Anyway, all right, guys. Any questions? Oh wait, I have a question for you. It seems to me that less and less people are hopping on these live videos, and I'm really not doing this to talk to myself. So I wanted to put out the question: is there a better day and time that works for all of you? And I'm trying to figure out how to do a Facebook poll on this page to figure out if there's a better day and time to be giving you the information that you're looking for. Because if there is, I will most definitely change the day and time of these live broadcasts. So if you could please pop an answer in and let me know what day and time of the week would be most convenient for you to pick up this information. Again, I don't, I'm only doing this to help you guys. If this isn't a good day and time, I thought it was. Maybe in the wintertime it's good, in the summertime it's not. I don't know. But all I can say is that we used to have 30, 40, 50 people on these broadcasts, and now we're like, I can see it like 9 and 10. So maybe Sunday nights in the summer are not so great. But anyway, last time, if you want to be entered in the raffle for this fitness and nutrition journal, all you have to do is share the video. And to pick up the bonus to your guidelines, your cheat sheet and guidelines on when to start your training program, just go to TriRightCoaching.com/bonus. You can pick that up for free. And I will see you all next week. Next week's topic, oh, you're going to love this one, you guys. Next week's topic is triathlon on a budget. Who doesn't want to save money? Who doesn't want to try and do this without, like, it costing an arm and leg? I don't want to spend that much money. So that's what next week's video topic is on. So hope you all catch me live next week. Until then, have a great week and train great.